Hello everyone, welcome to Career Launcher. So we are back with our next session on MH CET, and I hope that you are in good spirits. First of all, just days ahead of the exam, and right. So we'll have another practice session, and I hope that you will make full use of it. Practice along with me, and learn some. Just revise. I would say. I won't say learn because I hope that everything has been learned by now, right? Just quick revision and seeing how things are applied, right? So let's check it out, right? Let's start. Quick. First question, ratios. All right. This is a previous year question, right? And pretty doable, but फिर भी mistake होने का थोड़ा बहुत chance है, but I hope you won't do the mistake. Can you answer this question? I'll give you a minute, everyone. Can you try? All right, so I'm starting. If you are getting this, please let me know. Right. So right, 132. First of all, you need to split 132 in the ratio of 9:2 between successful and unsuccessful candidates. 9 plus 2 is 11. 11 into 12 is 132. So you need to multiply these ratio numbers with 12. 12 nines are 108. 12 twos are 24. That adds up to 132. So that's the total number of students, and that's the successful and unsuccessful. If four more students had passed, so this would have been plus 4, and automatically this would have been minus 4 because it's the same students, right? So either plus हो रहा है तो उधर minus भी हो रहा है, right? So 108 plus 1 plus 4 is 112, and 24 minus 4 20. 112 is to 20. 4 can be cancelled. 20 by 4 is 5, and divide by 4 here. 4 2s are 8, 32, 28 is to 5. That's it. Simple, right? Pretty straightforward, right? So I hope you're solving with me. Yes or no? Please share your answers as soon as you get them. Right? Live session का यही तो मतलब है. Please solve along with me. Right? Next one. Okay. Let's see who can answer this. Can you answer this quick, that faster than I can solve it? Okay. Let me give you a head start of few seconds. Please start this and then we'll discuss. All right, so I'm starting off. A shopkeeper bought 150 calculators at the rate of 250. He spent 2500 on transportation packing. That would get added basically to his cost, right? So it's not just the unit cost that matters. It is also the other costs that eventually get added up, right? So 150 times 250 is the actual procurement cost, and plus 2500 on other things like transporting and packaging. Just we can say 250, this is 2500, so 250 is common, and then into 150, and here this is 2500, so plus 10, right? So 250 into 160 is the total cost, right? Now he's selling, and also he's giving a discount also, right? So what the mark price? 320. On that he'll give a 5% discount. So what is the unit selling price, per piece selling price? So 320 minus 5%, which means 1 by 20th of 320. 320 by 20 is 16. 16, 320 minus 16, 304. So he's selling it for 304 per piece, right? So what is his total net revenue, right? His total selling price, total revenue. So there are 150 calculators. He's selling them at the rate of 304 rupees per piece. So that's his revenue, 150 into 304. I have to find his percentage profit. Selling price ratio cost price gives us to understand the profit percentage, right? Whenever question is to asking us to find profit percentage, I always do one thing. I go ahead and divide selling price by cost price. Selling price means this total revenue. So what is the total selling price to cost price ratio? This ratio 150 times 304 divide by this 250 into 160. अभी तक भी किसी ने मुझे जवाब नहीं दिया है. 150, 250. 50 can be cancelled 3 by 5. 160, 304. I guess 16 can be cancelled here. If I have 16, then 144. Yeah. So here 16 can be cancelled with 304. So 16, 1 is 16, then 144, 9. This ratio is coming to be 19 into 357 over 5 into 10, 50. Nice. 57 by 50 or multiply with 2114 by 100. You will easily understand. So this is 1.14. So selling price is 1.14 times the cost price means 14% is the profit. तो ये मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर का कंसेप्ट हमेशा यूज किया कीजिए, राइट? ऑलवेज डिवाइड सेलिंग प्राइस बाय कॉस्ट प्राइस. That's your multiplying factor. It is 1 plus the fraction of the profit or loss percentage, right? Don't do that old school level thing. अच्छा selling price को minus cost price. आप देखो मैंने कहीं भी कैलकुलेशन नहीं करी. I did not calculate 250 by 160. I did not calculate the numbers, right? At the end I divided. So that's the way you get it quickly, right? यही छोटी छोटी टेक्निक्स होती हैं और ज्यादा मतलब अल्टीमेटली एवरीबडी कैन सॉल्व, बट डू डू इन 2 minutes और डू डू इन 45 seconds. दैट इज व्हाट मेक्स अ डिफरेंस, राइट? सो दीज छोटी छोटी टेक्निक्स हैं, यही इसी से ही आपका टाइम सेव होता है एंड यू गेट टू सॉल्व क्विकली, राइट? चलिए नेक्स्ट वन. ओके. A group of students decided to collect as many paisa from each member of the group as is the number of members. If the total collection amounts to rupees 59.29, what is the number of members in the group? Right, so it's a very simple question that two things are equal and their total is 5929, right? 5929 paisa is the total amount. So if there are n members, then every member has also given n paisa, right? So basically n members, each of them giving n paisa gives n into n total amount. So you also just figure out which perfect square is 5929. Well, 77 square is 5929, right? As simple as that. Right, if you don't know that, I mean, nobody would remember this, but the point is you can always, figure this out by, okay, what is 70 square, what is 80 square, what is 75 square? So you can always figure it out and reach there, right? Like 70 square is 4900, 80 square is 6400. It is obviously lying between that. Then 75 square you do is 5625. So between 75 and 80, the only number in that. Oh, there are 79 also, but 79 square will end with 1. Because when you do 9 into 9, it will end with 1. So it can never be 79. It can only be 77. Right? 7 into 7, 49 ending in 9. तभी देखिए 4 options 5 में से 7 से ending है. Right? Okay. So I think that's, so you get these kind of questions also quickly, right? Can be done very quickly. Right? चलिए और देखते हैं. Okay. Next one. Looks lengthy to read but not really difficult and doable, right? Let's see. Time and distance. 4 friends: Ananya, Brian, Chetra, Deepali. Very nice. I like these names, A, B, C, D. Right? Decide to jog for 30 minutes inside a stadium with a circular running track that is 200 meters long. Fine. The friends run at different speeds. Okay. A completes a lap every 60 seconds. Likewise, B, C, D complete lap every 1 minute. Time is given. The friends begin together at the start line exactly at 4 p.m. They are going to jog for 30 minutes. What is the total of the number of laps the friends would have completed when they next cross the start line together? Very classic case of LCM concept, because whenever different events, right, are occurring at different time intervals, so their common occurrence happens, right, at the common multiple of the different time periods, right? So what are the time periods for A, B, C, D, right, given in seconds, because it would be easy to convert in simple seconds. So A completes every 60 seconds, so this is the time period taken in seconds by each of them. So convert minutes to seconds. B, for B it is 1.5 minutes, means 1 minute 30 seconds, that is 90 seconds. For C, that is simply 40 seconds, and for D it is 1 minute 20 seconds, which is 60 plus 20, 80. So what is a common multiple? What is the LCM of these numbers? 60, 90, 40, 80. 60, 40, 90, 80. Well, I guess 720 would work, right? 80 into 9, because in 80 there is no 9. So 720 takes care of every number, right? Yeah. So 720 seconds is the time after which all of them would have would have crossed the start line together. So that is not what the question is asking. However, right? However, with this time, we need to find how many laps in total the friends would have completed, right? So by this time, which is 720 seconds, what is the number of laps that they would have completed? Obviously, we can get that by dividing this total time with the time period of each person, right? So 720 by 60, 12, or you can say 16 to 12 is 720. 90 into 8 is 720. So B would have completed 8 laps by now. 40 into 18 would be 720, right? And 80 into 9 would be 720. So just add this, that is your answer, right? 12 and 8, 20. 18 and 9, 27. 20 and 27, 47 laps in total would have been completed. सो इस क्वेश्चन में 30 मिनट्स का कोई यूज नहीं हुआ, इस क्वेश्चन में 200 मीटर्स लॉन्ग का कोई यूज नहीं हुआ. आप देखो क्वेश्चन जानबूझ करके लंबा बनाया हुआ है, बट क्वेश्चन में लंबा जैसा कुछ है ही नहीं. तो another thing to note is only to focus on the information that is relevant to the question asked, right? So questions can sometimes give you this extra information just to load up the question, right? Don't get bogged down by the length of the question. I've said this many times and repeating myself so many times, but याद रखें, क्वेश्चन अपनी लंबाई से मुश्किल नहीं होता है, राइट? Questions like this is like on one scale of 1 to 10, I would say this is right level 3 or level 4 out of 10, right? राइट, चलिए. सो इसी तरह से आपको क्वेश्चंस को फेस करना है, डरना नहीं है, घबराना नहीं है, सामने जो लिखा है उसको पढ़ना है. टेक द क्वेश्चन ऑन इट्स फेस वैल्यू. इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड, गो अहेड एंड डू इट, राइट? दैट्स द स्पिरिट. चलिए नेक्स्ट वन, pipes and cisterns, right? Very a topic I think जिस पर क्वेश्चन जरूर आएगा, I would say. टाइम एंड वर्क पर तो आता ही आता है, पाइप्स एंड सिस्टम्स पर भी काफी चांस रहता है. अ बाथ कैन बी फिल्ड बाय द कोल्ड वाटर पाइप इन 10 minutes and by the hot water pipe in 15 minutes. ठीक है, there are two filling pipes of cold water and of hot water. ठीक है. A person leaves the bathroom after turning on both the pipes. ठीक है, okay. He returns just when the bath should have been full. When should have the bath have been full? Right. I hope you know the formula that when two persons or two, in this case pipes, are taking time T1 and T2 respectively to do a certain job, then T1 T2 by T1 plus T2 is the time taken for both of them to be finishing the job together. Right. That's a simple formula. So with 10 and 15 being the two time, so 10 into 15 over 10 plus 15, 25. This is 150 by 25, 6. So in 6 minutes, they would have normally filled, right? But what happens? So you see, he returns when the bath should have been full, but it was not full. Finding, however, the waste pipe was open. So there is another pipe, the waste pipe. He closes it. In 4 minutes more, the bath is full. In what time will the waste pipe empty it? So we have to find the efficiency or the rate of work of the waste pipe. For 6 minutes, along with the two filling pipes, the waste pipe was also working. It was doing the negative job. The negative job that it did in 6 minutes was compensated by the 4-minute work of again both the pipes taken together, right? So if I say that the waste pipe is taking some time t in minutes to completely empty the uh, you know the tank or the bath in time t, the waste pipe can empty the whole tank in minutes. Then per minute it is doing 1 by t part of the work, right? That is the logic. That that's the basic logic, right? For example, if that waste pipe is taking let's say 20 minutes to empty the tank, then every minute it is draining away 1 by 20th part of the tank. So in 6 minutes it would have drained away 1 by t fraction of the tank into 6, this much fraction of the tank, which was equally compensated by 4 minutes work of both the filling pipes taken together. So 4 into 1 by 10, right? Because 1 by 10 of the work is being done by the cold water pipe, and again 4 into 1 by 15 as well. So that is the equation, I guess. That should give me the required time t. That is what is exactly being asked. In what time will the waste water pipe empty? Okay, so just solve this equation now. 6 by t is 4 into 1 by 10 plus 1 by 15, which is 1 by 6, because that is how we get this 6 na. 1 by 10 plus 1 by 15 is 1 by 6. So that is 2 by 3. So t is what? 2 cancels here, 3 into 3, 9. Right? So the waste pipe would have emptied the whole bath in 9 minutes. Right? Perfect. Right? चलिए आगे देखते हैं. Okay, an important announcement. We have a Race to 99 series that is ongoing. On this Saturday, you'll be having 3 sessions with our mentors back to back. So, right, all our mentors are here to help you strategize yourself. So, therefore, I we hope to see you, right, starting 11 a.m. on this Saturday, 25th April, right? So check out the details, and we'll see you in Race to 99, right? चलिए देखते हैं. Let's continue. Okay, let's do something on algebra now. Which of the following is a factor of x cube minus 19x plus 30? Oh, and the options are linear factors. So just put the numbers and see what is a factor. Right, this question is testing your basic elementary understanding of the factor theorem, right? Which, what is factor theorem? If x minus a is a factor of any polynomial, let's say p of x, then basically the value of the polynomial at x equal to a is 0. Obviously, right? For example, if x plus 2 is a factor, means x plus 2 is x minus of minus 2. So the root, the factor here is minus 2, right? Is minus 2 a root here? Is putting minus 2 making it 0? Well, no. If you put minus 2, then minus 2 cube is minus 8. Then minus 19 into minus 2 is plus 38 plus 30 is not 0. But I see, 38 is 8 plus 30. So try the other one, this thing, x minus 2. Right? So I think 2 is the root, because yes, if you put 2, then 2 cube is 8 minus 19 into 2 minus 38 plus 30. Yes, that becomes 0. राइट ये नंबर्स देखते ही मुझे स्ट्राइक किया कि यार -2 तो नहीं लग रहा है, 2 लग रहा है, राइट? सो दैट्स इज द रूट. सो just very simple of factor theorem, right? If x minus a is a factor of any polynomial, तो उस polynomial की value at x equal to a is 0, right? Means a is the root of that polynomial, right? So I hope that is very simple, right, to understand. And if you get this question, I think that's very easy, right? Perfect. Chaliye, next one. All right. Now, right, clocks, people, and let's see. So clocks per questions अगर आते हैं तो particularly this one is on, you know, clocks which are gaining and losing time. So they are also they are very doable questions, right? Let's see. A watch which gains uniformly, so it is running fast than usual, is 2 minutes slow at noon on Monday. वैसे समझने वाली बात ये है, वैसे तो ये फास्ट चलती है बट वो स्लो है. स्लो मतलब वो पीछे है. इट इज बिहाइंड 2 minutes देन द करेक्ट टाइम एट नून ऑन मंडे. मतलब मंडे को करेक्ट वॉच में अगर 12 बज रहे हैं तो इस वॉच में 11:58 हो रहा है, राइट? And now it is 4 minutes 48 second fast at 2 p.m. on the following Monday. So obviously it is fast, so it will cover up the time and run ahead of the time. And yes, it eventually is ahead of the time uh, a whole week down the line, right? It's another whole week down the line, Monday to Monday, and even this was noon, and this is noon and plus 2, so another 2 hours. So after a full 7 day and 2 hours, it has gained how much, right? So that is the point to understand. And question is, when was it correct? Now, question is very logical. Let's understand. See, the clock was initially behind, right? It was initially behind the correct time by 2 minutes, 2 minutes or 120 seconds. Then it was ahead of the time, right? It was fast. It was ahead by 4 minutes 48 seconds. So from 2 minutes behind to 4 minutes 48 seconds, in total, it has gained how much? Obviously, this 2 plus this 448, it has gained 6 minutes 48 seconds in a total duration of how much? 7 days, 2 hours. So let's convert everything to simple units. What is 6 minutes 48 seconds? 6 into 60 is 360. 360 plus 48, 360 plus 48, 408. So it has gained 408 seconds. 408 seconds have been gained, and this gain has been happening in how many hours? 7 days, 2 hours, because noon on Monday and then again noon on Monday and then 2 hours down the line. 7 days is 24 into 7, 168 hours. 7 days is 24 into 7, 168 hours plus 2 hours. This is 170 hours. So now you understand the relationship or the ratio, right? 408 seconds gained in 170 hours. Look at this 408, it is perfectly divisible by 17. Cancel 17 on both the sides because these things are in direct proportion. So cancel 17. So in 10 hours, how much time is gained? So 17 cancels, 17 twos are 34, and then 68, 17 fours are 68. So 24 seconds are being gained in a time of 10 hours. Now, to show the correct time, this watch needs to gain 2 minutes because it was 2 minutes so slow. So if it will gain 2 minutes, which is 120 seconds, it would be showing the correct time. That's the simple logic. जितना वो स्लो थी, जितना वो बिहाइंड थी, उतना वो गेन कर लेगी तो वो करेक्ट टाइम पर आएगी, right? So therefore now this is very simple. We need to gain 120 seconds. 24 seconds gained in 10 hours, very simple. 24 into 5 is 120. So 120 seconds would be gained in 10 into 5, 50 hours. So 50 hours जो है वो कब हो जाएगा? We were starting at noon on Monday, means 12 o'clock. 50 hours is how many days? 48 hours is 2 days plus 2 hours. So 48 hours is Monday पे start किया, Tuesday, Wednesday noon is 48 hours plus 2 hours. So Wednesday 2 p.m. There is our answer, option B, right? So 50 hours, which is 2 p.m. on Wednesday, it would be showing the exact correct time, right? So I hope this is clear, right? A watch which is gaining time but was initially behind the time, eventually gained some time. In the middle, it was showing the exact correct time, right? So I hope this is easy, that you have understood this, how to do this. Perfect. चलिए और देखते हैं. We are covering all the topics, right? Every topic we are covering, right? We are, because this is the final leg, right? I hope that you are able to relate to your concepts that you know, right? चलिए ज्योमेट्री का एक क्वेश्चन देखते हैं. Let's see. Area of a rhombus of perimeter 56 centimeters is 100 square centimeters. Find the sum of the lengths of its diagonals in centimeters. ठीक है, तो rhombus के सारे कॉन्सेप्ट्स यहाँ पर आपके टेस्ट हो जाएंगे. rhombus में क्या होता है? This is like, what is a rhombus? All sides are equal. All sides are equal, and in a rhombus the diagonals are going to bisect each other at a right angle, right? Okay, so in a rhombus, there is a very simple relation that happens between the side length. Let's say A is the side length and the two diagonals, because इसमें side length दी हुई है, right? और diagonals के बारे में पता करना है. So basically the diagonals bisect each other at right angles. So therefore, if this diagonal, whole diagonal is d1, so this is half of that, d1 by 2, this much from this to this. So I'm focusing on this right angle triangle, right? So this is d1 by 2, and likewise this diagonal, this is half of the diagonal, d2 by 2. So d1 by 2 and d2 by 2 are the two sides of the right angle triangle, and A, the side of the rhombus, is the hypotenuse. So basically, d1 by 2 whole square plus d2 by 2 whole square is a square, or we have this relation that d1 square plus d2 square is 4a square. So this is a standard relationship that always is there in a rhombus. I hope you know this. If you don't, please note this. For a rhombus, d1 square plus d2 square equals 4a square, right? In this right angle triangle, d1 by 2 whole square plus d2 by 2 whole square equals a square. So 4 goes on the right hand side, we have this. Now, obviously all the sides are equal. This is a rhombus. So perimeter is 56, which means side length is 56 by 4, 14, right? This is a rhombus. 4a is 56, a is given as 14. So d1 square plus d2 square is therefore equal to 4a square, which is 4 into 14 square. So that's 4 into 196. So that is 784. That is one thing that we have about the diagonals. d1 square plus d2 square is 784, right? The other thing is area. So what is the formula for the area of a rhombus? Now that is also very simple. That is half d1 d2, right? The area of a rhombus is half the product of the diagonals. So everything here is related to the diagonals only eventually. So half d1 d2 is 100, or d1 into d2 is 200. अब देखो, आपको निकालना है d1 plus d2, sum of the lengths of the diagonals. So इससे डायरेक्टली तो ही तो निकल जाएगा ना, because you can just simply take the square of what you want, d1 plus d2 whole square, and that is exactly what we have. d1 plus d2 whole square is d1 square plus d2 square plus twice of d1 d2, and we have both of these. So this d1 square plus d2 square, you know, is 784, and this twice of d1 d2 is, so twice of 200, 400. So this comes to be 1184, and that is the square of what we want. So d1 plus d2 is square root of 1184, right? So it means मुझे इसका square root लेना है, जो कि एक perfect square नहीं है, तो it's, we have to mark the approximate value, right? So which perfect square is, we can always judge this from the perfect squares. Now we know 33 square is 1089. We know 34 square is 1156. This is still more than that. And 35 square is 1225. So this is between 34 square and 35 square. So the value of this must be between 34 and 35. Now there is only one option in that range. So that is our correct choice, right? So even with the square root, you can always do this calculation mentally, right? No calculator required, है ना? कोई जरूरत नहीं है कैलकुलेटर की, आप ऐसे जज कर सकते हैं परफेक्ट स्क्वायर देख करके, right? So I hope that you're getting, first of all, you noted this thing about rhombus, everything formulas पता होने चाहिए. d1 square plus d2 square is 4a square, and area का फॉर्मूला half d1 d2 होता है, right? दोनों को यूज किया और सॉल्व कर लिया, isn't it? चलिए और देखते हैं. Let's see next one. Okay, now next question is very interesting. I hope you will try this. See, if Sudhir wants to write on a blank paper all numbers from 100 to 10,000, which means all the 3-digit numbers and all the 4-digit numbers basically, right? How many times would the digit 3 be written by him on the paper? देखो एक 5-digit number भी है, but that's a single number 10,000. उसके पीछे तो 4-digit numbers हैं, तो eventually 10,000 में तो कोई 3 है नहीं, So eventually all the 3-digit numbers and all the 4-digit numbers, you have to count how many times 3 will appear. Now I have a very different technique for this question, which is I won't it's a counting question, right? It's a counting question. And in any counting question, you can either think to count directly what is asked or go a little bit around the way. What I'm trying to say, for me, 1 to 9999 is an easy job, or rather I would say 0 to 9999. If I count how many times 3 appears in this entire range, and from that entire range I subtract the number of zeros written in the range of 0 to 100, that would be a better or easier way. Because what I can think about, okay, I have four spaces. I'm saying 0 can appear anywhere, so that when I'm going to say anywhere, any digit can appear. So I have counted all the digits starting from 0000, right, up to 9999, all the 10,000 numbers. कि यहाँ पर भी 0 to 9, any other 10 options can come. 10 options, 10 options, 10 options, 10 into 10 into 10 10, 10,000 numbers from 0 to 9999 have been considered. अब 3 कितनी बार appear होगा? At any place 3 will appear the same number of times. How many times will 3 appear at the unit's place amongst all those numbers? यहाँ पर भी 10 ways, यहाँ पर भी 10 ways, यहाँ पर भी 10 ways. So 10 into 10 into 10, 1000 times 3 will appear at the unit's place. Same for appearing at the tens place. Likewise कि 3 यहाँ पर आएगा तो बाकी तीनों positions पर 10 ways, 10 ways, 10 ways. 1000 times 3 will appear at the tens place. 1000 times 3 will appear at the hundreds place. 1000 times 3 will appear at the thousands place. In total, 4000 times 3 will have appeared in the entire range of numbers from 0 to 9999. From this we need to subtract कि एक 2 digit नंबर तक की रेंज में 3 कितनी बार अपीयर होगा. द सेम लॉजिक, 3 यहां पर होगा तो यहां पर 0 to 9 10 ways, 10 numbers, और 3 सिमिलरली यहां होगा तो यहां पर 10 ways. So 10 plus 10, 20 times 3 would have appeared in the range of 0 to 99. 4000 minus 20, that is our answer, 3980. So in any counting question, you can always go around the way, right? And in this case, I think this is much easier. Instead of doing direct counting कि 3 digit नंबर में कहाँ कहाँ कितनी बार आ रहा है, 4 digit में कितनी बार आ रहा है, तो वो केसेस लेने के बजाय आप डायरेक्टली ऑल पॉसिबिलिटीज फ्रॉम 0 to 9999 ले लो और फिर उसमें से 0 to 100 को हटा दो, right? So I've given you a very different way to think about such kind of questions. ये क्वेश्चन काफी बार आता है, right? ये वाला कि इतनी रेंज में ये डिजिट कितनी बार अपीयर होगा, तो ये टेक्निक थोड़ा सा आप समझें. मेरे ख्याल से ये टेक्निक काफी आसान है, राइट? पर्टिकुलरली व्हेन यू हैव सच काइंड ऑफ रेंज जिसमें 3 digit plus 4 digit नंबर्स हैं, राइट? ओके, राइट? So this was a previous year question as well, right? Can appear again. I think so, right? Quite an important question. ठीक है, चलिए देखते हैं नेक्स्ट वन. Let's see now something on probability. Again, it's a previous year question and I found this very लॉजिकली आस्क्ड क्वेश्चन. बहुत ही अच्छे से पूछा हुआ है सवाल, लॉजिक टेस्ट कर रहा है. क्योंकि ना यहाँ पर प्रोबेबिलिटी के बारे में कुछ लोगों को थोड़ी सी गलतफहमी होती है. देखो ध्यान से देखो. 3 ordinary coins having only 2 sides, namely heads and tails, are tossed in the air, and 2 of such tossed coins land with tail facing upwards. 3 coins, they are tossed, and 2 tails, 1 head. That happens, right? Determine that what are the chances on the next toss of the coins, at least 2 of the coins will land with tails facing upwards. Now, you see, this is called as, I mean, something has already happened, right? These 3 coins were tossed and an outcome has occurred. Now, how does that impact my next outcome? It does not. So that first statement that is given, that this occurred, has nothing to do with the future. So that is the most basic thing of probability, that the successive outcomes of random events, right, are independent of each other. They don't impact, you know, अगर इस बार ये हुआ तो अगली बार whatever has to happen is equally likely. तीनों पर हेड्स आ जाए, तीनों पर टेल्स आ जाए, एक पर हेड्स आ जाए, दो पर टेल्स आ जाए, ये सारे आउटकम्स इक्वली लाइकली होते हैं. दैट इज द होल कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ random events that outcomes don't impact each other. So simply just cross this, nothing to do with that. जो हो गया हो गया. अभी सिंपल ये देखो कि what is the chance that at least two will land with the tails facing upwards. There are three coins, so each of them have two options. So in total there are because there are two options with each of them, heads or tails, heads or tails, heads or tails. So in total my sample space is of total 8 outcomes, right? Total outcomes are there. For example, out of those eight outcomes, one outcome is head head head, another is tail tail tail, another is head head tail, or head tail head, etc etc. So all those eight outcomes are equally likely. What is my favorable outcomes? At least two should show tails. So what are my favorable outcomes? All three could be tails, or two could be tails, right? So tails tails head, tails head tails, or head tails tails. These are obviously different outcomes. Four out of these eight outcomes are favorable. That is simply half. That is 50%. Right? That's it. Nothing to do with what happened. Jo gaya, so gaya. Right? So please remember, basic thing of probability: past does not affect the future in random events. Okay, so I would say that, well, I hope that you have taken away something from this session, some key learnings again, just to know how to face such questions, right? So, wishing you all the best, right? We'll have one more session next week. So, till then, keep up with your practice. Thank you so much, and all the best. I'll see you again. Thank you.